Welcome to Deep Roots, Open Skies, a podcast dedicated to exploring the defining moments that shape our lives. I'm your host, Lykesia. Welcome back to another episode of Deep Roots, Open Skies. I'm your host, Lykesia, and today we're digging into a tale filled with stress, chaos, and a little bit of humor. You know, just your average weekday, right? So do you have your favorite beverage? Whether that's coffee, tea, or a glass of wine? I'm not judging because we're about to go on a wild ride. Trust me, it's going to be a bumping one. Let's get into it. It's an early morning. I'm running late, and my brain is full panic mode because I forgot to fill up my gas tank the night before. Smart, right? So I rush out the door, feeling like I'm in a high-stakes race against time. I usually don't put gas in my car during the mornings, but here I am, a little frazzled, trying to avoid a complete meltdown. I pull into the gas station and start pumping gas as if I'm training for the Olympics. I'm going fast, y'all. I'm half focused on the task. My mind is racing with thoughts of deadlines, meetings, and that nagging feeling that I'm sure I left something important at home. And then, in a moment of absolute chaos, I hop back into my car, completely oblivious, and drive off, only to hear a crunch, bonk, gonk behind me. My heart drops as I realize the gas pump is still attached to my car. I'm dragging it along like a tiny gasoline-filled pet. Now picture me, frantically trying to detach it while apologizing to the bewildered gas station attendant. I swear I'm a responsible adult. The embarrassment of walking inside a crowded store to hand the attendant the gas pump was unreal. This wasn't just a funny mishap. It was a clear sign of the stress I had been carrying around. In the past 6 months, I hadn't had a menstrual cycle. Stress can really mess with your body. And mine was clearly waving a white flag saying, help, send ice cream, something, yoga mats. This stress had me doing some pretty ridiculous things, like putting items that should be refrigerated in the pantry. Can you imagine? I was so distracted that I was like, oh, milk? Let's just store that next to the canned beans. And then I'll discover that what I did a day later, wondering, why my milk smell like a science experiment? And don't even get me started on my driving. I've driven past my exit more times than I can count, my mind wandering off to Neverland while my body is on an autopilot. It's like on a road trip to nowhere, and I don't even realize it until I see familiar landmarks, like the giant donut shop I swear I never wanted to visit again. But amidst all this chaos, I found some outlets that help me manage stress effectively. One of my favorite ways to relieve stress is through weightlifting. There's something incredibly empowering about lifting weights. It gives me a sense of control and strength when everything else feels overwhelming. Now, don't get me wrong. It doesn't work for me all the time. I usually have to be in the right mood to hit the gym. But when I am, I put on my workout playlist and it's on. There's nothing quite like the rhythm of the music and the sound of weights clinking. It can make for great caloric relief and really clears my head. Another surprising outlet for me is vacuuming. Yes, you heard that right. There's something oddly satisfying about the sound of the vacuum. It's like my own personal meditation session, drowning out the chaos and giving my mind a break. even if it's just a little while. Now, let me tell you about my peaceful sanctuary, my diva den. It's my 3-season room where I can truly unwind. I've got my lounge sofa set up, surrounded by nature, and I always have my surround sound playing smooth jazz. When I sink into that sofa, looking outside at the beautiful greenery, it's like all my worries fade away. It's my little escape from the world where I can recharge and reflect. I also want to share a more serious note. I've experienced panic attacks that I'm sure were stress-related. I remember one time driving home feeling completely overwhelmed. I rushed straight to the shower, letting the cool water run over me, desperately seeking relief. It was like my own personal reset button. And then there was that fainting experience at work. Thank goodness a coworker was there to take me straight to the doctor. Those moments are eye-opening. Our bodies send us signs, and when we ignore them, it can deteriorate our health and mental state. Now let's talk about some common stress triggers that many people experience, such as work pressure, family responsibilities, and societal expectations. It's important to recognize these triggers because identifying them is the first step toward managing stress effectively. For example, many of us feel the weight of tight deadlines or the pressures of balancing work and family life. Have you ever found yourself overwhelmed by the expectations of others, whether it's at work or home? Take a moment to reflect on this. What does your body feel like when you're stressed? Are there shoulders that's being tense on you? Is your heart racing? Recognizing these physical responses can help you understand your stress level better. Another example to look at, and I want you to ponder over this question. What coping mechanisms have you found most effective? Maybe it's yoga, talking to a friend, or indulging in a hobby. See, I encourage you to think about what works for you and lean into those practices during stressful times. Now let's switch gears for a moment and talk about some specific actionable tips for relieving stress. Mindfulness exercises can be incredibly effective. One simple technique is to practice deep breathing. Let's try it together. I want you to find a comfortable position, either sitting or standing. Close your eyes. If you feel comfortable, take a deep breath in through your nose for 4 counts. Hold that breath for 4 counts. Now exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 counts. Let's do this a couple more times. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. See? Just a minute of focused breathing can help reset your mind. You can do this anytime you feel overwhelmed. Another great mindfulness practice is to take a moment to notice your surroundings. Focus on what you can see, hear, and feel in that moment. For example, when you step outside, take a breath and notice the vibrant colors of the leaves, the gentle rustling of the wind, and the warm sun on your skin. See, allow yourself to fully engage with those sensations. Perhaps you can hear birds chirping or the distant sound of laughter. This practice helps ground you and brings your mind back to the present, allowing the chaos of the day to fade away, even if it was just for a moment. Now let's talk about the impact of nutrition, sleep, and exercise on our stress levels. Maintaining a balanced diet is crucial. Eating whole foods like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains can fuel your body and mind, helping to reduce stress. For instance, Look for foods that is rich in omega-3 fatty acids. These can boost brain health and improve mood, and we all want that. Incorporating colorful fruits and veggies not only provides essential vitamins and minerals, but also helps to reduce inflammation and fatigue, which can be a major contributor to stress. In addition to nutrition, let's not forget the importance of sleep. Quality rest is essential for your body to recover and for your mind to reset. When you make sleep important, you're allowing your body to repair itself, which can lead to better emotional regulation and resilience against stress. Think about establishing a calming bedtime routine, perhaps sipping herbal tea, dimming the lights, or reading a few pages of a book. These small changes can create a tranquil environment conducive to restful sleep. I make sure I get my sleep on every day, and my husband will tell you, I definitely value my rest. Not everyone can function on 4 hours of sleep like him. That's why I have a youthful look. Just kidding. But honestly, getting enough sleep is essential for managing stress and keeping your mental health in check. So establish a healthy sleep routine. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Limit screen time before bed. These habits can significantly improve your sleep quality. And of course, we can't overlook the role of exercise. Engaging in regular physical activity releases endorphins, those feel-good hormones that can instantly elevate your mood. Whether it's a brisk walk in nature, a dance class, or a yoga session, finding a physical outlet that you enjoy can drastically improve how you handle stress. Just think about how great it feels to move your body and get your heart rate up. It's like giving yourself a natural high. Plus, it can be a perfect way to clear your mind, especially after a long day. Now, before we wrap up, I want to share some resources that can help you on your journey. And this journey is toward stress management and mental well-being. So if you are a reader like I am, here are some books that can help guide you. You got The Stress Solution by author E.F. Smith, Mindfulness for Beginners by Jon Kabat-Zinn. And there are a few apps that you can look at and explore. Headspace is good for meditation and mindfulness that offers guided sessions for stress relief. You got Calm provides meditation, sleep stories, and relaxation techniques to help reduce stress. And don't forget about Insight Timer. It's a good free app with a large library of guided meditations, music, and talks by different teachers. There are some websites you can look at as well. The American Institute of Stress, mindful.org, NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. You know it's important to remember that seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. And I've had my own moments where I felt overwhelmed and reached out for support, whether it was through friends, family, or professional counseling. Connecting with others can make a huge difference in how we manage stress and navigate life's challenges. So I encourage you to build a support network around you. People who understand what you're going through and can offer encouragement. Don't hesitate to lean on them when you need them. Sometimes just talking about what's on your mind can lift a heavy weight off of your shoulders, and that's important. Also consider participating in community or online support groups. They can be a great way to share experiences and learn from others who are going through similar challenges. So remember, you're not alone in this. So as we wrap up today's episode, I want to remind you to pay attention to the signs your body is giving you. Don't ignore them. Take a moment to breathe, listen to calming music, or try out some other stress relief techniques that work for you. I want to thank you for tuning into Deep Roots, Open Skies. And remember, life may try to drag you down, but you've got the power to lift yourself up. So until next time, keep those roots deep and your skies wide open. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Deep Roots, Open Skies. Until next time, embrace your journey and keep exploring the possibilities.